Welcome back to This Week in Motorsport, the very serious news show that covers all things racing from the last week. Let's dive right into the news. It was announced this week that Cadillac will officially become the 11th team on the F1 grid from 2026 onwards. They are initially joining as a customer team to Ferrari, but by 2028 they are hoping to be delivering their own power units. This move is from the footworks of Andretti Global and Michael Andretti, who had the application denied by the FIA, with General Motors taking the reins to see the deal through to the line. The project is being led by former Marussia boss Graham Loudon, who has already recruited F1 experts such as Pat Simmons and former Renault engine chief Rob White to the team. In other Formula 1 news, Drive to Survive returned for its 7th season this week on Netflix. If you want to preserve your eyeballs and keep your hearing, I would avoid watching at all costs. They ignored topics such as Colapinto joining the grid, Newey heading to Aston Martin, and even Oliver Bearman debutising for Carlos Sainz in Saudi Arabia. The inaccuracies littered within the series make it a really tough watch, but they seem to keep coming back because some people enjoy it, but I'm definitely not one of them. In more positive news, racing returned down under last weekend in Sydney for the Race of Champions. This is an amazing event where drivers from all disciplines and all nationalities from across the globe come together for 2 days of racing fun to see who is the best. It was Team France who took the Rock Nations Cup, with Sebastian Loeb also claiming the Champions of Champions trophy. But for me, it was a great opportunity to see my hero, Sebastian Vettel, racing again for the first time in 2 years. And although it didn't go how I would have liked, I still thoroughly enjoyed. There was other icons there, such as Petter Solberg, Johan Kristoffersson, and Travis Pastrana, who all took to their track, trying their hand at different disciplines from rallying to track racing. And yes, it isn't the most high-intensity, high-action racing, but it's just great fun to watch and a really fun event to see. In tyre chat news, Pirelli have been announced to replace Michelin as the sole tyre provider for MotoGP from 2027 onwards. They recently began providing tyres for the Moto2 and Moto3 classes, and Dorna are keen on consistency throughout, so they are deciding not to renew with Michelin. The riders will be pleased with Jorge Martin blaming Michelin for his 2023 title hopes falling short as he received a faulty tyre, with also people concerned that Marc Marquez's massive high side in 2022 in Indonesia was due to a faulty tyre as well from Michelin. This leaves Michelin just the tyre providers for IMSA and the WEC hypercars, due to Formula E also deciding not to renew with the brand from 2023 onwards. Hopping over the pond now to America, and it was Christopher Bell who claimed his 3rd victory in a row in the NASCAR Cup Series. This is the first time this feat has been achieved in the next-gen cars, and the first time this has happened since Kyle Larson in 2021. He beat his teammate Denny Hamlin to the line by a whopping 0.049 seconds, with Larson coming in 3rd, just a 10th shy of the victory. This is the second closest ever finish at the Phoenix Raceway, and it showed as it was a fantastic race. It was a race that was filled with 10 cautions, with brake failures, punctures and power steering issues throughout, with a massive wreck on lap 99 causing 7 cars to retire immediately. But Christopher Bell, who started 11th, managed to avoid all of this, with his car showing superior long-run pace throughout, guiding him to his 3rd victory of the season. And in other motorsport news, Tadasuke Makino completed a Dandelion Racing sweep in Super Formula this weekend, beating teammate Otter to the line in P2, who was later demoted out of the points following a penalty for a collision with a Wasser in the final chicane. And that is your wrap of motorsport news from the last week. This week is filled with much more racing action, with F1 and the supercars taking to the track in Australia. NASCAR heads to Las Vegas, and MotoGP returns to Argentina, with IMSA taking on the 12 Hours of Sebring. Whatever happens, there's a lot going on, and I can't wait.